The fear of failure is like a shadow that follows us wherever we go, lingering in the background, whispering doubt into our ears. It convinces us that we aren't good enough, that taking a step forward could lead to disaster, that the safest path is to stay where we are. It tells us to keep our dreams locked away in the safety of our minds, where they cannot be crushed by the harsh reality of failure. But here's the truth. Nothing worthwhile has ever been achieved without taking risks. Every success story, every moment of triumph, has been born from a willingness to face failure head-on and move past it. This fear paralyzes us, making us believe that a mistake or a misstep will define us forever. We dread embarrassment, judgment, and the possibility of losing everything. We've been conditioned by society to believe that failure is the end of the road, rather than a part of the journey. And that conditioning keeps us small. It keeps us in our comfort zones, avoiding the challenges that lead to growth. But what we often forget is that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a crucial part of it. The most successful people in history have failed, not once, not twice, but countless times. Yet, they've come out stronger, smarter, and more resilient on the other side. To break free from the chains of fear, we must understand one vital truth. Failure is not the end. It is merely a stepping stone. When you fall, you learn. When you stumble, you gain wisdom. When things don't go as planned, you develop resilience. Without failure, there can be no progress. It's through failure that we refine our skills, test our limits, and build the courage to keep moving forward. But it all begins with one thing: the courage to take risks. Without risk, you remain stagnant, trapped in a cycle of mediocrity. With risk, you step into the unknown, yes, but you also step into endless possibilities. Every time you take a risk, you give yourself the opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to reach new heights you never thought possible. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's easy to say take risks, but what if I lose? What if things go wrong? And it's true. Things might not always go as planned. But let me ask you this. Would you rather live a life of what-ifs, filled with regret for the chances you never took, or a life filled with lessons learned from the times you dared to act? The greatest failure in life is not trying. Playing it safe may feel comfortable, but it also ensures one thing. You will never reach your full potential. You will never know what you're truly capable of if you don't push yourself beyond your current boundaries. Risk is not recklessness. It's not about making thoughtless decisions without considering the consequences. It's about calculated bravery, knowing the potential downsides, but also understanding the extraordinary upsides that come from stepping into the unknown. Every great innovator, every trailblazer, every game changer in history knew this. They knew that the road to success is paved with risks, and each risk brings you closer to the person you're. To overcome the fear of failure, we need to first acknowledge that failure is not a reflection of our worth. So often, we attach our sense of self to our outcomes, believing that if we fail, we are failures. But this is a false narrative. Failure is simply feedback. It is life's way of showing us that something didn't work, not that we didn't work. Once we separate our identity from our results, we free ourselves to take risks without the crippling fear of judgment. You are not your failures. You are the sum of your efforts, your growth, and your perseverance. One of the most effective ways to dismantle the fear of failure is to reframe it as an opportunity for growth. Think about it. When was the last time you truly learned something meaningful from a moment of smooth sailing? It's through the storms that we learn how to navigate. Each failure offers a lesson, a chance to get better, to refine your approach, to improve your strategy. Instead of viewing failure as a dead end, view it as a detour that brings you closer to where you need to go. Every misstep is a chance to gather valuable experience, and that experience compounds over time, making you more capable, more resilient, and ultimately more successful. Taking risks doesn't mean ignoring the possibility of failure. It means embracing it as part of the process. Risk is the currency we pay for reward. There is no progress without it. Look at any groundbreaking innovation, any world-changing idea, and behind it, you will find someone who took a risk. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They didn't wait until all conditions were right because, let's face it, the perfect moment never comes. If you wait for all the stars to align, you'll be waiting your entire life. At some point, you have to leap. You have to trust yourself, trust your vision, and trust that even if you fall, you will rise again, stronger and more prepared for the next challenge. Fear of failure often stems from a fear of the unknown. We like to control the outcome, to predict what will happen next, but risk removes that certainty. And that's okay. Life is full of uncertainties, and trying to shield yourself from all of them will only leave you living a life half-lived. Instead of fearing the unknown, embrace it. The unknown is where possibilities lie. It's where innovation happens, where breakthroughs occur, where transformation takes root. Every time you step into the unknown, you open yourself up to opportunities that staying safe will never provide. Moreover, risks lead to self-discovery. When you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, you uncover strengths, talents, and abilities you never knew you had. You build character and grit. Risk-taking is not just about achieving external success. It's about internal growth. It's about proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. And even when you fail, that failure is not wasted. It's a badge of honor, proof that you were brave enough to try, to put yourself out there, to take a stand for what you believe in. In today's fast-paced world, those who take risks are the ones who rise above the rest. They are the ones who dare to challenge the status quo, who are willing to step outside of the norms to chase something greater. They understand that playing it safe might lead to security, but it will never lead to greatness. And here's the thing. The fear of failure never fully goes away. It's part of being human, but the key is not to let that fear control you. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's taking action in the face of it. So how do you start? By taking small, manageable risks. You don't have to jump into the deep end all at once. Start by pushing yourself in areas where the stakes aren't too high. Take a chance on a new project. Speak up in a meeting. Try something you've always wanted to do, but were too afraid to fail at. Little by little, as you see the world doesn't end when things go wrong, your confidence will grow. And as your confidence grows, so will your capacity to take on bigger risks. In the grand scheme of life, failure is not the enemy. Complacency is. Too often, people allow their fear of failure to keep them on the sidelines, watching as others pursue their dreams and reach new heights. But the truth is, the greatest risk is staying still, letting life pass you by while you cling to the safety of your comfort zone. Failure is a temporary state, a fleeting moment of learning, but regret for the risks not taken lasts a lifetime. You don't want to look back one day and realize that you lived your life within the confines of fear, that you let opportunities slip through your fingers because you were too afraid to try. The real failure in life is not in the falling. It's in the refusal to get back up, to try again, to dare for more. Risk, on the other hand, offers freedom. It frees you from the chains of what-ifs and moves you into a realm of possibility. By taking risks, you are stepping into your power, challenging yourself to grow beyond the limits that fear has set. Yes, you might fail along the way, perhaps many times, but every failure is a lesson, and every lesson gets you one step closer to success. The beauty of life is that failure doesn't define us. Our resilience, our persistence, and our willingness to keep moving forward in the face of adversity do. Risk-taking pushes you to evolve, not just as a professional, but as a human being. It shapes your character, sharpens your mind, and fortifies your spirit. Taking risks forces you to confront your deepest fears, and in doing so, it allows you to overcome them. Every risk you take is an act of courage, and with each courageous step, your confidence grows. You begin to realize that you are stronger than your failures, more capable than your doubts, and more resilient than your setbacks. You stop seeing failure as the end, and start recognizing it as a necessary part of the path to success. The people who achieve the most in life are not those who avoid failure, but those who embrace it, knowing that each fall is an opportunity to rise higher than before. Ultimately, the choice is yours. You can let the fear of failure keep you small, or you can rise above it and pursue the life you've always dreamed of. You can choose to stay in the safety of the known or venture into the unknown where growth, discovery, and greatness await. Remember, life's most rewarding experiences often lie just beyond your comfort zone, on the other side of fear. Taking risks is not about being reckless. It's about having the courage to chase your dreams, even when the outcome is uncertain. It's about trusting in your ability to learn, adapt, and rise above any challenge that comes your way. In the end, the risks you take today are the seeds of tomorrow's success. By daring to fail, you give yourself the chance to succeed beyond your wildest expectations. So, take the leap, face the fear, embrace the risks. Your future self will thank you for it. Every step you take, every risk you embrace, brings you closer to the person you are meant to be, the person who is not defined by their failures, but by their triumphs over them.